Hello and welcome to Ninja Talk, the Ninjago fan podcast. My name is Phil and I'm your host. So then, welcome Brayden. Is it right, Brayden?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. Welcome, Brayden. Very happy to have you here for the second episode of Ninja Talk.
Thank you.
You're a huge name in the Ninjago community, a huge name in the Instagram Lego community. I guess people who like Ninjago have already heard about you. Yeah, thank you for being here. Let's start with you.
Absolutely.
Your name is Brayden. How old are you? What are you doing for a living? Or are you studying? Or are you at school at the moment? Give us a look at you as a person outside Lego.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Brayden. I live in the United States. I am 19 years old. I'm currently studying marketing. I think marketing is such an awesome thing in the business industry because that's what got me hooked into Lego and then Ninjago. So to be able to give that to a kid maybe one day is kind of my dream and my hopes because I love Ninjago and to be able to spread it to other kids and impact kids the way I was impacted when I was little is kind of my goal at the moment. So yeah, I think marketing is the way to go right now for me.
So you can say, or we can say, it's like Lego is not only a hobby, it's something you would like to include in your whole life.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's fun because right now I am currently an ambassador for the Lego Group. I am an ambassador of the Ninjago recognized community Masters of Jiu-Jitsu, and we do a lot of Ninjago content. We're a group of adult Ninjago creators, and we do Ninjago content, and it's kind of fun to be able to market Ninjago in that way, like on YouTube and on Instagram and other social media platforms, and to kind of get a little bit of I guess, like a small bit of experience for marketing, and um, it's a lot of fun, and we have a bunch of fun on there, and yeah, it's really cool to be able to represent that community from the AFOL side.
Well, that sounds absolutely great. And for all the people who are listening to us or watching this afterwards on YouTube, I will also give the links to
Oh,
your
thank you.
Instagram and to YouTube. I will add them later so the people can find you. So you said you are active on Instagram. You are doing something on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is there another platform where people can find you? Just to make sure we have covered
Twitter,
everything.
I'm Ninja Whip, a Ninja underscore Whip on Twitter. I have a pretty big Twitter following as well. I post a lot of concept art and things like that on there and try to promote and hype up
Awesome.
Ninjago as best I can. We have Master of Jiu-Jitsu on TikTok. We also do a little bit of TikTok content for Ninjago as well, trying to engage that side of the community as well, right? So every aspect of the social media community, we try to engage in some capacity. So if there is social media, I'm sure we are on there in some form, right? So, but yeah,
That's
it's
great.
it's awesome.
And I guess everyone that is into Ninjago already has seen some content of yours or of your Ninjago group, the Masters of Brick-Jitsu, if I'm right. Yeah?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
All right. So, not only talking about Ninjago, are you a fan of Lego in general, or is it only this theme that you are into? And um, give us a look. When did this all start? So, did you have some kind of dark ages because you're pretty young still, or are you into Lego since you're a kid, or?
Sure. No, so for me, as far as answer your first question, as far as I love Lego in general. I think I grew up on Lego ever since I was very, very young. And it's kind of been a part of my life for forever, really. I love the Monkey Kid theme as well. I think the Monkey Kid theme is really great. Love the toys. But of course, Ninjago has always been my bread and butter, and kind of to go into my story a little bit. So I was around 8 years old, and I really was into the Lego Star Wars because that was the one everyone at school was playing with at the time, and it was kind of a big deal to be into Lego Star Wars and play the video games and all of that. And but then Ninjago came out and it completely rocked my entire world around because all the kids at school started playing with that instead of Star Wars. So I had to get on the trend too, right? So I watched the show when it came out in 2011 on the Cartoon Network, the two pilot episodes, and I got some of the toys as well, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was amazing to be a part of it in that time period because it was so new and it was so there was a lot of interactive play in the toys as well. So we would take the little spinners, the little disc spinners out to recess, and we would play with them. That was a lot of fun, and we would also pretend to be the ninja out on the playground and things like that because that was when the Green Ninja was coming about, and we didn't know who that was going to be, and everyone was so excited to find out who the Green Ninja was and how that was going to unfold, right? And it was a special time to be a Ninjago fan, and I truly hope that those special moments that I had when I was a kid are going to be relived one day as well because they were just so amazing.
And now that you're thinking of it, do you remember what you thought who would be the Green Ninja, or
Oh
do
yeah.
you remember who was your favorite ninja back then?
So my favorite ninja was Kai, and I thought he was going to be the Green Ninja for sure, because I was so certain because all of the ninja had unlocked their true potential before Kai, and none of them had become the Green Ninja, right? And I think that the writers and all of the marketing really played it to be Kai, for that reason. So I really thought it was going to be Kai, and I was so excited because the episode 10 was called The Green Ninja, and it was coming out, and it was on Cartoon Network that night, and I remember going home after school, eating dinner with my family, and running into my room to watch that episode. And I was so surprised to learn it was Lloyd. Um, I remember being so confused, and also very happy because I don't know. I guess it was like I have still the original four ninja, but we're adding a new ninja to the team, so that's pretty cool. And I remember like immediately wanting the Green Ninja minifigure. I remember that being a whole thing back in the day because the Green Ninja didn't come out till the summer of 2012, and we had not gotten the Green Ninja. I don't think at that point that episode had aired. So I remember really wanting it, and there was a bunch of YouTube tutorials about how to make him. So you could buy one of those little J booster packs, ZX, and you could paint the hood and add a sticker on the torso. I remember those days back from when I was a kid, and for some reason they're just popping in my head right now. Um, but that was so much fun. But yeah, I honestly thought it was going to be Kai. It was going to be the Green Ninja.
I have to say, it reminds me a little bit of the feeling that I had because, um, as you might know, I'm a little bit older than you. I guess it's 13 years. I'm older
Okay,
than you,
not
and
too
I
old.
started with Ninjago way later, way later. So
Sure.
I guess I'm into Ninjago for like 2 years now, and I started watching it because of my daughter. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and so we were starting, and I really feel like yeah, it was the same for me, but as an adult now, as you had, yeah, I was watching and was pretty curious and excited, and my daughter was all hyped, yeah,
that's
because
awesome.
we
That's awesome.
she was 5 years old when we started watching,
That's
so two
great.
years ago, 5 years old, and I really know we were watching and it was great. And as you said, yeah, it was like the direction was in. It might be Kai, who's the Green Ninja or who becomes the Green Ninja, and it was a pretty big surprise then in the end. Oh, it's not Kai, and but it
Yeah,
still it didn't feel wrong or anything at all. It's just it was a surprise, and but
for
it was
sure.
a great surprise, and it was pretty well written, the story, and
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I
The
still
Hagemans did a
love
great job.
watching the first episodes and first seasons because, to be honest, we are watching it all over again and again and again. So yeah, but I do have the feeling it must have been better back then as a kid.
Sure.
And
No, I
I remember my daughter was talking all about it in kindergarten, and I know all the boys in her group were excited too, and yeah, but back then it must have been way better because as you mentioned your excitement because you knew the episode will come out and you will watch it, and sounds great. Sounds like a great experience, a
absolutely.
great memory, and for now because the Green Ninja is already here and we can order it. But for now, I just have to think about how must have been the feeling. You know the Green Ninja now, and there's no minifigure to it,
Right.
and you start making your own custom. That must have been great.
Oh yeah, it was a blast, and I don't know if there will ever be anything like it because it was just so special, and it was just look, it's so nostalgic now that I look back on it because it happened like 10, 11 years
Yeah,
ago now, and it was just insane, like the amount of hype and even the Ninjago community online was very small because a lot of the people who now make up the Ninjago community were young like me at the time, so they didn't really have social media. I also didn't really have social media. I got to look at it every now and again through YouTube and things like that, but again, like a lot of the fans back then were kids, and so we got to see it kind of unfold from in our schools because as we grow older, a lot of people like drop Ninjago, but I never dropped Ninjago, so but it was cool to see back then all of the kids and your friends, love it as much as you do, or you did at the time. So it was really special in that regard to be able to share those experience and that memory with them. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, and I do think must have been like this because as I've mentioned, I do see it how my daughter reacts, how my daughter is excited for new episodes, for new seasons, how the story goes on,
For sure.
and yeah, comparing that must have been a great feeling back then.
Absolutely.
And when you think about it, is there a favorite season, a favorite episode, and would you say your favorite season or episode has changed with getting older? So do you look at Ninjago now in a different way?
That's a very interesting question. So I guess, I guess you could say yes because my favorite season right now is Sons of Garmadon because of how mature it felt for the time. And one of my favorite episodes is in that season. It's Game of Masks. It was interesting to see the level that they were taking Ninjago. They were taking it in a very dark way, and I really enjoyed that. Especially, I was how old was I? I was in middle school or maybe early high school at the time that came out, and so I was really excited to be able to experience a little bit more of a darker side of Ninjago because I was also getting older, and it was cool to kind of feel like it was a show that was that grew up with me, right? And it was as I grew older, so did Ninjago, and it was cool to be able to experience that at that time. That was like 2018. So that was a couple years ago, and it was cool to. That was a long time. That was like 4 years ago. Wow, it was a while ago. But no,
Yeah.
it was great to be able to experience that at the time, and I loved the Hunted season as well, the one that followed it with the dragons and the dragon hunters. Those were really cool. But yeah, it was like I said, it was just an incredible time to be a Ninjago fan for sure.
And so, is it still your favorite season,
Oh yeah, it's still my
the
favorite season
Sons
for
of
sure.
Ramadan?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely still my favorite one.
Right. And not only talking about the show, what are your thoughts on the movie?
Uh, it's a mixed bag. At first, I didn't really like it. I was kind of disappointed at the way they took some of the characters. I was very disappointed with that, and I thought the cat was ridiculous. It should have been a snake. I thought the snake would have been cooler. It's more iconic to Ninjago. But I mean, like for kids, it's cute and it had some really cool sets, like some toys. I thought the toys were really cool, and the marketing for it was pretty great as well. But I as a day one Ninjago fan, I felt like it could have been so much more. But I guess from a kid's point of view, looking at it from, how a kid would react to it, I feel like it would be enjoyable from that point of view. But it's a mixed bag. So some days I like it, some days I don't like it. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
But would you say you would understand if people are only fans of the show and not of the movie?
Yeah, I mean.
I think so.
That's just kind of how it is, right? There are some people that are the other way around. And it was cool to see the people from the movie that loved it and had never known Ninjago to get into the show because of the movie. That was super cool, and I think the marketing team made a fantastic decision with changing the designs of the ninja because of that reason, bringing in new fans, but also also giving Ninja more of giving them like an identity, right? And giving them like a distinct look. So that way, when you see like Jay or Lloyd blacked out, you know exactly who it is. You know it's Lloyd, you know it's Jay. And giving them more of a distinct look to their characters, I thought was really important. And again, I hope that it continues to go through the future because those character designs, I think, I liked them actually at first. I was very surprised. I thought I wouldn't like them at first, but when they were revealed, I actually was quite happy with them, and I hope they continue to stay for longer because I think they're great, and I think that they really distinguish the characters themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and as I've seen, I guess you are also a fan of books or comics or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, so Ninjago makes a lot
I
of books,
guess
and
you shared something like that, or?
yeah, they so Ninjago makes a Garmadon comic book series, and it's really really great. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend you pick it up. It's a five-part series. The
Right.
finale of the comic book series just came out today, so all five parts. However, if this goes up before November something, you will be able to purchase the entire book on in November on the Lego shop. So if you haven't been able to find it or haven't been able to pick it up, you just go to lego.com and it will be up on the shop at home. All five books compiled into one, so you'll be able to find it really easy. And they also are making some books as well. They've done a bunch of Ninjago books, and some of them even come with minifigures. If you're lucky, you can find some cheap books that come with minifigures in the magazines as well. You could find some of the magazines. I believe they're mainly in Europe. They do not sell them here in the U.S., which sucks. But
Yeah.
Germany, UK, you can find the Ninjago magazines with the minifigures in them. It's a great way and a cheap way to get some Ninjago figures and a fun little story as well.
Yeah, that's right. I really don't understand why they are not selling them in the US because as far as I've seen, the magazines are only in Europe and in the UK, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I
And
think
yeah,
it's just because they
they're
don't really sell
absolutely
very
great.
well here. So,
I have no idea because I have many friends over there, also in Canada, who would love to get some of the magazines, and
hmm
some are also always watching if they are getting some of the UK, because that's the next issue or problem or how you will name it. Because yeah, I get the magazines, but they're in German, and people from the US don't really, how should I say it? The German ones are not the best to send over to the US because
right.
not many of the Americans are talking German
Right. They can read
or
it.
or yeah,
Yeah.
or can read it. So yeah,
Right.
that's a problem if you want to make a surprise for a friend. You have to get it from the UK first to send it over
hmm
there.
Right. Right. Yeah. I order them from the UK. They have a thing called uniquemagazines.com where you can make a subscription, and they'll just send them right to your home from the UK. It's really nice, and they're all in English, and they come with the minifigures and everything. It's a great little place to actually get a hold of them. I believe they ship
Oh, that's right.
worldwide too, which is great.
Oh, good to know because I didn't know that before. So I guess the one or other sure will be happy about hearing that, and maybe
Absolutely. For sure.
find a new way to get the magazines.
Hmm.
Now, getting back to Lego itself, getting back to Lego sets. What would you say? What is your favorite set? Is it one that you already had as a favorite when you were a child, or did it change over the years? What
It's a
what
great
would you
question.
say is your current favorite set, and what makes the set special for you?
So for me as a kid, the one that I remember working very hard for was the original Destiny's Bounty, um, because my parents they gave me they told me that if I made all A's and B's on a report card that I could get the Destiny's Bounty, and so I worked very hard. That I was in elementary school, so it wasn't very hard, but I worked very hard to get that goal, and I did it, and they took me to get that set, and building it with my dad, it's just something very special for me, and I remember that fondly, and it was a fun memory, to be able to do that with your father, and that was the first time you could get Lord Garmadon with all four arms, and so I remember really wanting that minifigure as well. So super cool set. It's a great one, but if we had to, currently one of my favorite sets is the Dragon Pit from Hunted because it comes with all four ninja. You get the awesome Golden Dragon Master, and you get plenty of bad guys and a dragon. You get so much for what was it, $120, I think it was. I mean, it's a great price, a great deal, and a fantastic set, loads of play features. And for me, I think that is the perfect Ninjago set because, kids can play with it, kids can afford it, right, for Christmas or whatnot, and they get all of their favorite characters in one set, and I think that is such a great way. And I wish that they continued to do that now, is to bring out play sets to that scale, to that level, and include core aspects of Ninjago like the ninja and putting one of the dragons in there as well is fantastic, and it's a beautiful looking playset as well. So currently that's probably my favorite Lego set to date so far.
Good choice. Good choice. I have to say that's a really good choice, and all of the things you've said, yeah, I can totally agree with that. So
Thank you.
it was also one of the sets I totally had to get, and a friend of mine, I mean, I got it, I guess 1 year ago, and it already was retired.
Yeah,
So um, I was really lucky to get it, and a friend of mine was sending me a picture. I remember that, and he was like, "Do you already have that set?" And I was like, "No, hell no, I need it." And he was like, "I'll get it for you."
oh
And
wow.
I guess two weeks later or something like that, it was in the mail because that friend is from Germany, so
Hmm.
not that close to me,
Sure.
but also not that far. And he was sending it, and he got it for a retail price, I guess. And I was so happy to get it because, like you mentioned, yeah, there's so many things, and for me, as an older person, I would say, um, it's great as a display too.
Hmm.
But looking at my daughter, I totally know it's great to have all the figures you mentioned. You have a dragon, the play features. It's totally really beautiful set, and it was absolutely worth it, the price. So
Absolutely.
one of the sets you really have to get if you're lucky to find it.
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. I agree. It is a special one. And another one that's really great is the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. That one looks great too, but
Yeah,
I don't think it reaches the level of awesomeness the Dragon Pit does because like you said, it comes with a dragon and all of the ninja, like all the four ninja and Wu, which was such a key thing in that season. It just encapsulates the season so well, and it also just is so great for the core of Ninjago. And I really hope that they bring more play sets to that level in the future.
and when you think about that, you said you hope that they will bring out more play sets like that. Is there a set you would like to see Lego make, or is there something I don't know? Is there a mock you would like to make, or I don't? What would be better for you to make a to build your own mock, if you do something like that? Or is there a set you would like to see Lego make?
For me, I would love Lego to make more location builds. A lot of what Ninjago is now, unfortunately, is a bunch of vehicles, which, and there's nothing wrong with kids love
Hmm.
playing with the vehicles, but for me as a collector and as someone who loves the play sets and location builds, I really want to see more of those, even if they're smaller, right? And I mean, we get a
Hmm.
lot of dragons, and that's, I want the dragons, I want the mechs, but there's so many cars and so many uh you know bikes. Like, I would love for one of those to be substituted with a little small like playset or something. Something that I'm just reminded of is the Hands of Time Vermilion attack set that was $10 back in the day. It came with three minifigures and the Time Blade, and there's a little location build that you could add to like the swamp of the Hands of Time season, and that set was so great. $10, you got a brand new Kai suit and two villains. Absolutely, and a fun little play feature where the egg explodes with all the snakes. Such a great little $10 set in my opinion. I wish we had more like that. I think it's such a great way for kids to start their collection for that season, but also to experience everything in one small little pack, right? Because you get a cool ninja, you also get the Time Blade as well, which was a new mold for that season. And that was the collectible of the wave. But you also get the snakes, and that was the big thing, was those serpentine that combined to like little snakes that combined to make warriors, the vermilion. So it was really cool to have that little set, and I wish they did some stuff more like that. We don't get much of that anymore. If there's a $10 slot in the portfolio, it'll probably be like a bike or a small jet or something rather than something like that. Like that was just, in my opinion, a great and perfect $10 set for its time back in 2017. Absolutely love that set.
Is there something specific if you're thinking about the show? Is there a building or a little scene you would like to see?
I would love to if they did a D2C Borg Tower, right? Everybody wants that, I feel like. That would be so cool for them to pull off, and especially if it could connect to the other modulars, like the other Ninjago modulars as well. I think that would be really cool. Of course, slam pack it with a bunch of minifigs like Cyrus Borg. We need a Cyrus Borg, and there's a bunch of figures that we're missing as well. That would be really cool to put in there as well. But that's an iconic building that I feel like it's overdue at this point. We definitely need that set, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally, because it was featured in so many seasons. No spoiler for the new season, but yeah, we see it pretty often. And as you said, yeah, we need a human form of Cyrus Borg,
Yeah.
because I guess we have one Cyrus Borg figure, but it is this uh, the cyborg
Right.
Cyrus Borg.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a cool
yeah,
minifigure, but
totally agree with that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it was a small set he was in,
Yeah,
so I guess one of the greater small sets for the figure alone. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. That was a cool set. Definitely unique for the time.
yeah, that's right. And now going away again from Lego sets and this, there's something I need to ask, because as we've mentioned before, you're doing a lot for the community on Instagram, on YouTube. Um, there's a lot we have seen from you, and two questions are pretty important for me to ask, because yeah, I would say I would be overwhelmed in situations like that.
Sure.
Could you describe, or can you explain the feeling you had when you started making a documentary about Ninjago? Because if I'm right, you're the one of the people who made the Ninjago documentary for 10 years of Ninjago last year.
Yep.
I don't know if there were many others included in producing it, but you're, I guess, one of the big names that made it. and
Sure.
made it happen. So can you describe how was your feeling and what brought you to make a documentary about Ninjago?
Yeah, so I got with three other Ninjago, adult Ninjago fans, Haley Wolf, Joshua Deck, and Lachlan Jansen. They're also in the Ninjago community as well. And all four of us put together a Ninjago documentary, kind of celebrating the 10 years of the show and the franchise itself, right? That was such a big milestone for Ninjago. I mean, I wanted to celebrate it with the community because I was hoping there would be a bit more coming out on the Lego side of things. But unfortunately, there wasn't too terribly much coming out as regarding for the 10th anniversary. So we wanted to make something that would impact the fans, but also give them a little bit of behind the scenes of what they've been in love with all these years. And celebrating 10 years, we wanted to give some, like I said, behind the scenes and some interviews with some people at the Lego group, so that way, they could get to know the people behind what they love so much. And it was really cool because when we made the documentary, we didn't expect anything to come out of it. We expected people to watch it. And things like that. But the Lego group approached us and told us that we would be in the next season, which was crystallized. So you can check out all four of us as the documentary crew. We actually make a cameo in the crystallized season, which is really cool. That was one of the coolest things ever. And speaking on that, to be a part of my childhood favorite show is a dream come true. It is one of the coolest things that I've ever experienced, and for them to do that for me and for us was truly incredible. And it's something that I am so grateful for and so thankful that we were able to do the documentary, and they surprised us with something like that just because of our passion and our love for the show. They did something for us like that, which was truly incredible.
Yeah, I have to say, first of all, thank you for the documentary. I've
Oh, thank you.
also watched it. I've watched it alone because my daughter is not that good in English, so
Oh,
I would
sure.
have uh, I would have a lot of work translating everything. But it was a great documentary. It was great to get a little bit more of Ninjago together, like you said, and a view behind to see some of the how Ninjago is. Yeah, I'm looking for the right word. How they
How they made it.
how they're coming up with some
Sure.
stuff, and how they develop some stuff, and to see some of the concept art, and to get to know some people behind, and hearing what the people included in the show are talking, and their opinion. So this documentary really is great work, and
Thank you so much.
thank you in the name of a lot of Ninjago fans, if not all Ninjago fans. I can't speak for all because I don't know if everyone has seen it. If not, you have to watch it. Definitely, it's worth seeing it, and thank you for that.
Thank you for your
And
support. I appreciate
you've
it.
also you've also answered the second question I wanted to ask, because as you said, you make a little cameo in the crystallized season. So how yeah, you've said it, you described it. It was a huge surprise, I guess. How did they come to you and tell you that you are part of one of the episodes?
Yeah, so we were on a call with Tommy Andreasen, the co-producer of Ninjago, and
Yeah.
he told us that we would make a cameo in Ninjago. All of the characters were drawn by Joshua Deck, and he drew all of our characters, and Wildbrain got them and put them in the show and animated them, which was really cool. Um, I try not to spoil too much, but since the season is relatively new, but I make a lot of appearances. We make a couple appearances. We're in episode 7, um, 20 and 30. So you can try to look out
Oh,
for our characters in the background. One thing that really was incredibly special for me was being in the final scene of the show. That was truly special. Um, that the
Yeah.
fact they put me in that was just, it warmed my heart, and it was just incredible. And I just can't express how thankful I am for it. Um, because for me, it's crazy, right? Because I grew up with this show as a kid. I've been trying to engage in the community, trying to get the community connected to Lego, and so to be able to be a part of Ninjago in that way is just, it's hard to explain because of how special it is. And I don't think I deserve it, but it's just, I'm so thankful and blessed to be able to be a part of Ninjago in that way. Um, and I appreciate all of the fans and yourself who support me and watch what I do and support what I do. It means the world to me. And recently we went to New York because there was a Ninjago Crystallize event, and being able to see all the fans there to come up to me and sign all the autographs and take pictures, it was something that was just truly incredible and so special. And um, I just can't describe how amazing that was, because it was such a shock and surprise that people actually wanted me to sign something, because I didn't, I'm just some guy on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter just doing my thing, and these people are so they look up to me, and that means everything to me.
Yeah, I have to say you sure deserved it. You've earned to be a part of Ninjago,
Thank you.
for the things you're doing for Ninjago and what you're doing for the community, and the fact that you are that down to earth, yeah, makes it even more that way. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
yeah, totally deserved. And I guess I have to rewatch the crystallized season because I've only seen your appearance, I guess, one or two times,
Okay.
and I have to take a look for the third one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, I would say that was a lot for now. One last question, because it's I guess it's a question many people are asking themselves at the moment,
Sure.
at least if they already have watched the last season. What do you think, or where do you see Ninjago in the future? How, not only the sets, but also the show. What would you say? Which direction will it go? Do you have any idea where it might head in the future?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure where it's going to go in the future. I'm excited to see what they do. Um, and like the Lego website says, Ninjago needs to find ways to reinvent itself, right? So it's important to be fresh and to keep everything fresh and exciting for also new kids, but for fans as well. And so I think the Ninjago team has something amazing planned. I think that all the fans should be excited for what's to come in the future. Um, and just know that no matter what changes, what happens, just like with the 2019 Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu season, many people were very skeptical, but it ended up being something fantastic. So just go in with an open mind and be excited, because Ninjago is not going anywhere. It is an evergreen theme, so it will be around for a long, long time, and they will constantly find ways to reinvent it and keep it fresh and keep it new. That's just what Lego does. And so, yeah, all I can say is just be excited. My hopes is that it takes off and that fans love it, and it also brings in new kids as well. I hope that it is exciting. I just hope that it's a lot of fun for everyone, and everyone, gets reinvested and gets involved, and also just loves it as much as they do Ninjago, because it is confirmed that it will be a new series from what has been stated online and at San Diego Comic-Con this year. It will be a new series, so it won't be like the past season. So it'll be something new and exciting. So I really hope that it goes well, and that everyone just absolutely loves it.
All right, yeah. Let's see where Ninjago takes us
Absolutely.
next year. Well, then, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for that great talk. It was a blast. It was an absolutely pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It was great to come on, and if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. As well as you fans that are watching, if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. I'm easy to talk to, and I loved engaging with the fan community as well.
I can confirm that.
Oh man.
Well, all right, then. Thank you. This episode has come to an end, but don't worry. We have the next Ninja Talk in 2 weeks. Stay tuned for our next guest.